Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns. It's Chris Lynch. This is Dysfunction Junction.
Within 7 days, we lost two great actors, or acting people. I don't want to misgender anybody. Michelle, sorry for your loss.
Oh, no, I think it's okay to say actors now. I think technically actresses would be different. They're just actors. They're all actors.
You may or may not be correct. I just, the last thing I want is hate mail at junctiondysfunctionshow@gmail.com. Actually, I'd love that.
We lost some fuckers this week.
Yeah, we did. We lost a couple fuckers this week, and then an award show to celebrate mediocre fuckers, if you watch that bullshittery. I don't, but I watched the first third of it, and we'll talk about that and more. It's Hollywood Hell today. Welcome to the 3,000th Annual Oscar Awards. I am sitting on land that used to be belonging to the Mohegan tribe of southeastern Connecticut. My name is Chris Burns. Welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
There you go. I already introduced myself. Across the way, he is sitting on land that probably still belonged to the Mohegan tribe back in some semblance of order. He is the one and only Possum King, Queen, depending on how he feels today.
I'm feeling Queen. Chris Lynch.
All right. Welcome, Christina. And, of course, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair. He is sitting on stolen land that belonged to the Could Give a Fuck It tribe, and he will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. It is Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up?
You like that, huh?
He's sitting on land from the Poop Hole tribe.
The Poop Hole tribe, that's right. So, not to get into what we were talking about pre-show, let's get into what we're doing in the show. And we'll start with Lynch, who is probably going to say some nice things about a wonderful actor, Mr. Gene Hackman.
Yeah, crazy story. I mean, hadn't been out in town for a couple of weeks. Nobody had seen them. Gene Hackman dead at 95, along with his wife and one of their dogs. Gene Hackman was probably one of the greatest character actors I've ever seen in my lifetime. Tons of good movies. French Connection, one of my favorite movies from the 70s. One of the most awesome car chase scenes outside of the movie Bullet with Steve McQueen through the streets of New York. You name it. Unforgiven, which he was amazing in that. Young Frankenstein in an uncredited role as the blind man. Lex Luthor, the Poseidon Adventure. I mean, you name it, from 1960 some odd till the year 2002 when he retired from in his last film, The Royal Tenenbaums, which was a really good movie. I don't typically like that guy's movies, but he was really good in it. He's such an amazing actor. You always believed, even in a cheeseball movie like the Poseidon Adventure, he's what elevated the movie because of his performance. He's just that kind of actor. Retired, and spent the last 20 years just living a good life with his younger wife by about 25 years, 30 years almost.
Well, I mean, it has it been 20 years? Because, she was 39 when she just died.
I thought she was 63.
No, she's 63. She is 63.
Go into the Google machine. Give me a moment.
They met in the 90s. Gene Hackman divorced his first wife, who he had two children with. I want to say in the 80s. It's because he was always working.
65. You're right. They married in the 90s.
Yeah, they married 93 or something like that. Maybe later.
Give me a second. I'm working on this. It just fucking said it. Damn it. 1991 they married.
That was close. I knew it was early 90s. I had just gotten out of high school. But yeah, sad story to a fucking Hollywood legend. I mean, there's stories about him that he was to work with. He didn't like actors that weren't ready to perform. I know my shit. Why don't you? That kind of attitude. That's he's a very old school Hollywood guy. Um, but you never heard of any drama or bullshit with him in his life, behind the scenes, shit like that. He was no Rock Hudson or Richard Burton. He didn't really have any baggage. Served in the Marine. I believe he served in the Marine Corps. Came from some weird things in his family that had happened. Had a pretty weird upbringing. But yeah, he's been in probably most of my favorite movies growing up, and it's hard to say that you miss him because I missed him when he retired 20 years ago. But he did do some voiceover work post his acting retirement. He was in front of cameras. He did some voiceover work for some nature specials and shit like that. I think he did a football or some sort of sporting documentary, I want to say, in the 2000s, like the 2010s. But yeah, he's faded out of the limelight, and you would just see him, a random photo of him and his wife walking through his home, what he called his hometown, every once in a while, in the tabloids every 6 months. Just kept to himself. When they found him, he and his wife were partially mummified, which is kind of easy to happen when they live where they live out in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Cool, dry air blowing through a house with the door open. It'll take the moisture right out of you. I've been purposely not keeping up with all the newest rumors and how the story has changed since last Wednesday when they passed. The one thing I am going to take away is that he was wearing a pacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
After the autopsy, when they interrogated the pacemaker, the last cardiac event that happened was February 17th.
I just read that earlier today.
So he died sometime on the 17th.
And chances are her right along with him. Something and some of the things that I've read, and I'm looking at one of the stories now. The fire department.
That's the case. It's the her that now becomes the fucked up question.
What did I say? What did I say? I said it was a Hartman gimmick. I'm just fucking around. That was just me being me when we were in the group chat.
No, I'm just saying, like, that she just, I guess he fell down in the laundry room. Okay. All right.
No, he was in the front foyer. She was in the bathroom.
All right, but the dog was in the closet.
Yep.
But the other two weren't.
No, they were roaming the property.
I have a theory.
So if you kill yourself, then you put all the dogs in the closet, or you leave none of the dogs in the closet.
So I have a theory. I think Gene Hackman had a massive cardiac event. He collapsed. He died. She, being distraught, brokenhearted, because they did find medications in her vicinity. My theory is that she took a mouthful of pills, went to sleep, never woke up, and the dog got a hold of a couple of the pills, and it killed the dog too.
It certainly could be.
That's my theory.
Earlier on, a bunch of people were talking about
so
carbon monoxide and whatnot, and they negative test. No, it wasn't locked.
What's
That's
that?
where they found the dog.
No, it wasn't locked.
Right.
And when they say closet, because I have heard what the description of it is, it's the area where you would put the washer and dryer in a very large bathroom, not a closet with a
that would be an alcove.
door. It's just a closet.
Well, then join the AP and write for
but
them.
in big fancy homes like that, that's considered a closet.
Like the whole point of reading is to get a visual fucking image from the words.
I'm not arguing with you.
And no. And they found the dog in the closet. Nigga, if the closet was open, the dog wouldn't have been. I'm thinking, okay, it's a closet. If the closet was open, the dog could have left the closet. How's the dog locked in the closet? Who locks one dog in the closet and not the other? See where my line of thinking goes?
I can understand that too. But they never said that the dog was locked in the closet.
No, but everything you said I found in the beginning when you started seeing it, and the dog was in a closet, and that's how it was worded in several of the original of the not their very first articles, but we found out about it And then the next day or two, there was some subsequent shit as they really released it, because they really didn't release it till the next day on what they actually knew. And it
Well,
was
if you
really,
believe what Randy,
really limited as to how they let it slip. And I'm sure you were the next day when they released it, and you were like, there's way fucking more to that. This is the most restrictive fucking release you've ever seen. Like, it's going to take several weeks for this to find out what's it. Bitch, you knew what was in blood. You know what I mean? They released it last night. They were on TV talking about it. There was no mention of pills. This is all coming the next day. They knew all of that shit, Jen. I was like, Jen, as soon as they walked in the fucking house, they knew all of this. They knew this last night when it broke.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but they have to be careful in how they disseminate information, because then you don't want the rumor mill.
But I also know that you and we are watching this and knowing things that we know from levels and years of experience, going, there's way fucking more to this. There's other people that are like, oh, all right, cool. You and I and that's no.
There's more to the story.
To hear the next story, you were like, what the fuck? They knew this shit yesterday afternoon when they broke the story. This shit's 24.
Well, if you're going to believe Randy Quaid, they were murdered, because he believes that Heath Ledger, Gene Hackman and his wife, who else? Who else was murdered? Oh, Carradine. You know, he was murdered. It was a setup.
Randy Quaid.
Anybody who doesn't know, Randy Quaid is.
I was totally at first, given what I know, the dog was dead. In the very beginning, we didn't know there was two other dogs either. We just knew that there was him, the wife, and the dog. So it's him, the wife, and the dog, and they're all dead. They're all found either on the floor, dead, or in a bed, dead. There's medication next to her. We don't know what the medication is. So my immediate was a CO2 issue, because of the way CO2 fills up from the bottom up. All right, maybe CO2 could make you feel funny, have a headache, not well. Maybe they didn't release what the medicine was, still haven't yet. They could have, CO2 poisoning could mimic being sick and not feeling well. Somebody could have taken some sort of medication because they weren't feeling well, laid down, lower to the floor. Jean's dead in the other room, in the foyer. She's now dead. The dog asleep in a closet on a floor close to the ground would be dead. That, to me, that all lined up. You know what I mean? That entirely could be possible. The physical effects and feelings of CO2 poisoning mimic not feeling well.
Right.
So, without knowing what the medication was, that was another complete storyline that totally worked within the parameters and would produce no trace of like craziness until they had to test the bodies. Like, it could have totally cleared off. The furnace could have shut itself down finally. Doors were open, dogs, whatever, aired out. It still worked, but we've still got some funky fucking questions here as far as true cause of death. We know that his last day was the 17th.
They'll stretch this out to last for fucking ever. Like they always do.
They
keep people speculating and let the rumor mill.
I'm sure there's people for the estate with spinning it and to drag it out, because then it gives everybody time to forget. And then it's less and less every time you drop something. It's not that big a deal. We've known that for a while now.
Yeah, by the time the final details are out, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
Yeah, because we're bombarded with so many things in the news, whether it be political, national, entertainment wise.
We don't even know if we're gonna be a fucking round. Jesus.
Stop it.
No, you know what I mean, just in general. No,
right.
I just mean I don't mean politically or that, bro. Any one of us could drop fucking dead any day.
Anyhow, no, with the
My bullshit button
way,
came in handy.
nice. The way we're bombarded with news and with the frequency of the 24-hour news cycle, you get a fresh news story, or as I like to say, people get something new to bitch about every 13 to 14 minutes. Yeah, this could easily be memory hold in 2 weeks, and then if they release the autopsy results and they say, okay, this is what happened with him, this is what happened with her, the dog was collateral damage. Maybe that dog was in the closet because it was afraid to identify as a cat. You don't know. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in this story.
What kind of
that
dog
doesn't.
was it? What kind of dog was it?
German Shepherd.
German Shepherd.
Well, maybe it who knows? Did it have papers? Was it?
I don't
did
know.
it? Maybe ice.
Maybe Ice did this.
Maybe you thought it was ice.
Maybe ice.
Hey, she was Chinese or something.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe ice was coming for everybody. Who knows?
Maybe.
Just saying.
Gene, they
Hackman's
finally
like,
come
"I'm
get
from
me.
Nebraska.
No,
Gene,
no,
they finally come get me.
no. I gotta be honest. I'm real excited to see them fuckers show up in Boston. I really am. I'm really, really excited.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about how.
No, we're
Where
not.
are the German Shepherds?
Where are the papers? Do you have your papers?
Your papers, please.
Papers, please.
Your papers are not in order.
All right, then.
Passports?
All right.
For real.
Oh,
that
you go
totally
through the
explains
ghetto
why Walter
and
is
turn
just-
left at the Gestapo.
It's a prick. It's the German Shepherd in him. Is really what it is.
Yes.
Papers?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Papers? Where were you? Who are you with?
he's always
Where did
had
you
and raised German Shepherds.
Fuck.
Another reason why I love him.
Fuck.
One of the things I did not know about his wife was that she was a classical musician. I'm just learning
Yes.
that now.
Yes,
Yes.
she was very talented. Very talented woman.
No, they're not sending her. They wouldn't have going to send her anywhere. She was born in Hawaii. That's one of ours,
Fuck that dog.
Looks close enough.
right?
What did Walter do now?
Oh, nothing. She came down, and we do not appreciate the misaligning of Walter with the Nazis.
Okay.
He's just a baby, she says.
Who misaligned
Oh,
Walter?
it's the
What's it?
baby.
Walter. Who is it? Pepers? Pepers?
Walter.
Walter.
Walter Herman, you are definitely German.
I mean, the last name is German. It literally means army man. It's
Listen to
fucking
you.
Herman.
German Ariman. Ariman is the old German word for a military man. So,
Where is P. Diddy in his baby oil?
Oh, good.
I
Christ.
know you has him in the house.
All right, couple things on Gene Hackman for me. Loved
Yes.
a bunch of his films. His portrayal of Popeye Doyle, one of the best ever in history of ever. One of the few
has
actors
anybody
not.
has anybody even ever done that other than him?
I hope not,
No.
because
I'm
if they
just saying,
did,
like,
it would be
twice.
cool.
No, it's not just the best. It's the only. And that's not what makes it the best. It's the best portrayal of Popeye Doyle with all of us that know that story. But
I'm saying it was
nobody else-
one of
like,
his
nobody
best
else has even
portrayals.
Nobody else has ever even fucking been like, I could do that. I'll
I
do
could
that.
do that.
Let's do that. And who do we get to do the Hackman
Yeah,
role?
it's not
Well, I
Batman.
can-
Not
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
could
Look
do
what I can
Popeye
do.
Doyle. I misspoke. That was, to me, that was his best performance. One of the few actors who didn't use a stage name. He was born Eugene Allen Hackman. So
Yes,
he
just
was,
shortened-
for
he
life,
used his
Gene
nick-
Hackman.
He used his nickname for his name. but
Yeah.
Yep.
Two-time Academy Award winner, 2 British Academy Film Awards, 4 Golden Globes. Seems like it should be more, but like you said, Lynch, he got out while the getting was good. I'm trying to think of some other things that he did. Buck Barrow, he played in Bonnie and Clyde. Loved him in Mississippi Burning, even though that was one of the most difficult movies to get through as a young
Mooseport.
man. Huh?
Mooseport.
I watched-
You remember him and Ray Romano in Mooseport?
Yep.
Excellent movie.
I can
Excellent
do without Hoosiers because I was just never a fan. Enemy
I
of
love
the
that movie.
Enemy of the
I like
State comes
Hoosiers.
to mind.
That's a great
Yeah,
movie. too.
Runaway Jury.
Yep. But yeah, Mooseport. Welcome to Mooseport was his last feature role. Everything
Right.
after that was narration, like Lynch said, narration for television. And according to this article here, just in the blurb, Yeah, he would do voiceovers until about 2017.
Yeah, well, he did.
He did a couple commercials.
His first voiceover was Ant in '98.
Yep.
He
He
did
also
He had
Go
a
ahead,
role
please.
in that.
Let's see. I did not know this. He lied about his age to enlist in the United States Marine Corps, served 4.5 years as a field radio operator, was stationed in China, discharged in 1951.
China.
He was in China.
He
China.
was in China.
I missed the way he said China.
China.
I used my Trump voice at work the other day, and the girls were like,
China.
"What is wrong with you today?"
You know, do it and went to
It's every day.
China.
I've got tasks. They're big tasks. They're the best tasks.
They're
And
huge.
you're gonna do
Not
all the
everybody,
tasks.
None of you. I'm going to do all the tasks because none of you could do these tasks.
That's right.
Not
I'm
as
the
good
only
as
one that can
I.
do I'm the best at tasks.
I'm the taskmaster.
There you go. I thought Kevin Sullivan was the taskmaster.
No, there you go.
Anyway, Herm, you've been slightly quiet about the Gene Hackman gimmick.
I mean, excellent actor. I mean, I don't really have I don't really feel any sort of way. I mean, it's sad. I'm curious. The death is a little funny. Yeah, great actor. Did some great stuff. Did his job exceptionally well.
There's definitely something fugazi about the way this happened that either, when something like this happens, either you find
There's
out
a
all of the
lot
story.
of fucking coincidences that I need to have line up before my head can be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, this isn't cut and dry
I
like
can grasp the facts that they've thrown at us, but I just got a bunch of dots, bro.
this isn't cut and dry like the Hartmans or the Benoits or Nicole Brown Simpson. This is
Mickey Hargitay.
There you go. Yeah, there's so much of this that is shrouded in controversy that if we never know the whole story, someone's going to come out with one of these what if books, and nobody's going to do an OJ style book if I did it, because they're all dead.
Yeah, and I don't think anything's crazy. I don't think there's anything crazy or nutso about it. I just need. I'm waiting for toxicology reports. That's all.
The only crazy thing about this whole thing, Herm, is Randy Quaid opening his fat fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Dude's been nuts for years.
I mean, I'm not saying.
Yeah, he just-
Look, I'm not
he
saying
just- he
it's
just
not
failed
a
you, fucking shut up.
possibility. I'm not saying it's not a it's not a possibility out there in the universe. But possibility and probability are two completely different words and in sections of the dictionary for a reason. What's possible, is mind-boggling.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
We're talking about people that nobody had a fucking reason to do a goddamn thing. So, what is it know, Randy? What do you know, Randy? If that's what you're saying,
right?
What
Gene
do you
Hackman
know
was
that
going
to because nobody
Gene
else
was
on
gonna
the
come
fucking
out-
planet that knew either of the two could come up with any reason why anybody would want to be so much as impolite to either one of them.
Gene was going to come out and let the world know that Randy was on the Epstein files, and so they Clintoned him.
I mean,
Oh, come on. He just hung himself. You know that.
Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Of course the cameras malfunctioned for an hour and a half, and when the cameras go back on, there's Epstein hanging like a side of beef at a shawarma shop. Sure, I buy that.
I'll buy that for $1.
It's like the dude, I'm trying to remember his name. One of you guys, it'll pop into your head. The former press secretary for the Clintons who shot himself twice in the head. They called it suicide. He didn't shoot himself twice in the head.
Fuck was his name? It'll come to me.
I mean, if you're lucky and you do it some other way than shooting yourself in the head, you get found with a gaping wound in your head and you're clinging to life. You're not shooting yourself again.
Hey, that hurt. Let's do it again.
It's like somebody trying to OD and they wake up and they puke and they're like, "Oh shit, that didn't work. I'm gonna try it again."
No,
Look at the kid. The
I mean-
kid from the kid
I mean,
from
if
the
you're-
Judas Priest case who shot
because
shot
it's
half of his head.
entirely possible to get shot in the head and fucking live.
To
So
get shot in the
getting
head, yes.
shot
To
in the-
shoot.
But that's the thing is it depends on the first shot.
That's
It
what I'm
also
saying.
It also depends on the second shot. There's variables, and I personally would have to look at all the information, way more than just what we got through media,
Mm-hmm.
to make a determination of if that is even possible with this case.
I wish
It
I
is
had.
possible. It is possible to there are certain conditions under duress and not getting a good clean shot the first time and maybe trying a second with a recoil. There are, and I'm sure Lynch will back me up on this, there's several conditions of physics that could happen.
Yeah, I wish I had donated the book that was written about all the Clintonings that happened over the years. I donated it to the Bacchus Hospital book wagon.
I'm not saying that that's what happened. All I'm saying is, again, like the previous topic,
It's possible.
possible. That's all I'm saying.
So there's a story.
I could throw a playing card from here and get it in the crack of your ass in Colorado. The probability is wicked low.
Right.
But there is a probability.
There was a story in the mid '90s.
Right. I was going to say
There's a story in the mid '90s. A kid was trying to kill himself by putting a pew pew in his mouth.
He fucked up.
Well, number one, it was a 22.
Which,
number
if used
two,
correctly, would have
the first shot didn't kill him.
Right, if done correctly.
Well,
a 22.
he had it at the roof of his mouth, but aimed at the back. It just kind of got stuck in his upper part of his mouth. Then he did it again and missed again. And by that time, someone in the family found him and wrestled the gun away. So he lived and was, but he lived. I mean, it is probable.
Sorry,
like you
Jim,
said,
could
the wagon full of possibilities is always going to be greater than the wagon full of probabilities.
Right.
And anything's possible.
The
but
one-off
most things
stories like that
are only probable.
Right. I'm not going to discount the less than 1% of the time that something like that has happened.
Correct.
And as I just said, has happened. Some of these things that we're talking about, and I hope and pray that we're not dealing with something like this with the Gene Hackman and his wife story, but you got to be open to hearing and disseminating all this information that you're going to get, if we get any at all, and not have hacks like Randy Quaid tell us, oh, he was definitely murdered and this is how it happened, and him, Billy Jack Haynes, a couple other crazy people that get on television and say stupid things about the recently departed can all go suck my ass.
InfoWars.
Oh my God! Fuck Alex Jones.
Oh, what a loser!
How can you not see it?
He's
it's
younger
right
than
in
us.
front of you.
He's a little bit younger than us. You would think he's like 10 years older.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think he's younger than us.
Hold that thought.
But anyway, yeah.
I hope I don't get on a government watch list for
fatter
looking this
than us.
asshole up. Yes, he is. Bubba Ray Dudley. No, he's our age, 51.
Yeah.
And he looks like Bubba Ray Dudley if Bubba Ray Dudley stopped eating healthy and going to the gym.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. But yeah, fuck
I'm
Randy
with you on
Quaid.
that.
I mean, it's guys like that just because your spotlight isn't 6 feet wide. Don't say outrageous things just to put yourself in a spotlight and take away from what actually happened.
Come on, that's a celebrity thing. It really is a celebrity thing.
That's gonna lead me into the second death is Michelle Trachtenberg at 39 years old. Anybody who knows that name knows was played Dawn Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer for a couple seasons with Sarah
Never
Michelle
watched it.
Gellar.
Never watched it.
I got into Buffy. I got into Buffy a very strange way.
I'd like to get
When it was well, yeah. When it was first on, I was working swing shift. Then I went to grave shift, and they would start showing reruns of the previous seasons.
like on TNT, yeah.
Right. So from about 8 a.m. till 10 a.m., I watched Buffy and Angel to get caught up because they restarted it the first season. Then I started watching them live in real
Get
time.
caught up.
But yeah, I like Buffy.
Yeah.
I like Buffy. Going back and looking at Buffy now, it's very dated. It shows it aged poorly.
Harm, do you want to say
but
it? Or do you want me to say it?
You do it.
say it.
Lynch, you know how I
Yeah.
know you're gay?
Why?
Because you watched Buffy and Angel to catch up on what happened.
They were good shows, man. I liked Angel actually better than Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I'll bet. You'll be at the Nicholas Sparks Film Festival next week, too.
Hey, did you ever watch it? Did you ever watch Angel? Angel was a dark
Once.
fucking
I
show.
did once. I had a girlfriend that was into the show, and I was just like, it's decent. It's not my cup of tea. I don't think I'll be turning this back on. No offense, I'm not really big into the whole vampire gimmick culture and things like that. I'll watch Nosferatu, or I'll watch an old, Dracula film once. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, I have to see the 17th fucking Twilight movie. First of all, guys shouldn't watch Twilight.
It's so fucking horrible.
It's in the man
They're
code.
so terrible.
But go ahead, please.
Yeah, but as soon as they found out she's dead, and looking at how she's looked over the last couple of years, well, people that pay attention to anybody, if you're a fan of somebody, you knew she wasn't in the best of health. And the immediate thing is, oh, she was a fucking druggie. She probably fucking overdosed on drugs, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying this because we can with social media now, all over the place, before she's even fucking cold and buried. They're saying, yep, this is what happened. Oh, this is what might have happened. Just fucking let it unfold. She was a young girl. She was pretty talented. She was a good actress. I liked her in a lot of the things. The Euro Trip, she was fucking hilarious in. But she was the original Harriet the Spy when she was a real little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And she's done a couple movies. She got fucking snubbed at the Oscars, of course. As did a couple other good actors and pretty prominent directors in the In Memoriam. And I think that happened because they did the Gene Hackman thing. But anyway.
I mean, no offense to Michelle Trachtenberg, and again, a loss of life on any level is tragic. I didn't know her. It's not like I took a day off of work to mourn her death or anything. You know what I mean? But as some people want to do when a celebrity dies, oh my God, it's tearing me apart. Did they pay your rent? Shut the fuck up. The fact that Gene Hackman, someone with such a broad, history of work, definitely deserved all the time he got. And if they couldn't do a huge sweeping in memoriam like they do every year,
they did. They just missed a few people.
If there's a couple of snubs, I mean, that's not earth shattering. That's not that's not time stopping.
It's just poor timing and just it was an unfortunate error because she died a week before he did. It's not like she died in January. And they just kind of forgot. It just happened. It was fresh, and she had a SAG card. I mean, she was a part of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. Whatever. I don't care. It's just that I read this and it's like, well, yeah, it happens. Okay, whatever.
No, I got
Did you die?
I'm
Did you die?
Right.
You still have a job. Like Burns said, do they pay your fucking rent? No. But with the guys like Gene, when it's guys like Gene Hackman me personally, 45 of my 52 years, he was in something that I enjoyed and I watched. It's an icon. He's an icon. She, being young, which is the tragic part for me, she was very young. I guess she had a liver transplant and her body went into rejection mode and just that's how she died. She got very sick very quickly, but she hadn't looked good for the last couple of years because of whatever her illness was. With her, it's just the tragedy of being so young and having she had things in line coming up for her. She was coming back into fashion, and people are paying more attention to her. It just sucks. It sucks for her and her
Yeah.
family.
When they die young, and look, we're all north of 50. We are hurtling toward the end zone of life, getting ready to score the big dirt touchdown at some point. When an actor, actress, musician, I don't care if it's the kid who works at the gas station near you, dies at a young age of something natural like that. I go back to a couple years ago. His name was Cameron Boyce. He had appeared in the Grown Up films. He was also a Disney
Yep.
kid.
Yep.
Yeah, just died out of nowhere, and he was 20, and he had his whole life ahead of him. He was already working toward having a really, really good career. He wasn't a drinker, he wasn't a carouser, he wasn't a smoker, from what they say. He just, I think he had a seizure, and something happened, and he was gone. I'd have to look up
Shit
the
just
actual
happens
cause
sometimes.
of death. Yeah, but that's the tragedy, is when somebody
Right.
young, and I will put Michelle Trachtenberg into that pantheon of young, 40 and under. Heath Ledger, same. But Heath Ledger was obviously, chemically induced as well. But no, death at a young age, at first you're like, oh, god damn, they're so young. If they die natural, Michelle Trachtenberg, Cameron Boyce, I'm a little bit upset by it, because we all have children in our lives that we care about that are young. Because I don't want to leave Lynch out. Lynch has the fur babies and nieces and nephews and godchildren and what have you. There are children that Lynch cares about. I think about my kid when something like that happens. I think about, I heard about a guy who died in a motorcycle accident a year ago, and it was just in that right space and area where I know Travis was, Herm's son, and the first thing I do when I hear about this accident, call him. What? Obviously, you answered the phone. It wasn't you. Was it someone you knew? Are
Right.
all your friends okay? All right, cool. I'm bouncing. See you later. I just wanted to check in, because you worry about
Right.
shit like that. And I don't have to know Michelle Trachtenberg personally to know that this is a tragedy, but I'm not like some folks in polite society take this as if there should be some sort of sweeping reform or some sort of legislation about, liver transplants and this and that. It's like, bitch, things happen. Things that we cannot stop.
It's okay. You're gonna live.
Exactly.
Snowflake. Get
You're
over
gonna
it.
live. You're gonna live today until that bus hits you. I already talked to God. Or
Yeah,
as
I already
Herm's-
talked to the bus driver.
I paid the bus driver. Herm's favorite Aussie line. I spoke to God this morning, and he don't like you.
You don't like
Yeah. He don't like you.
Okay.
But no, that's just Hollywood in general. I mean, it's such a narcissistic, psychopathic fucking line of work. I mean,
mhm.
you're always looking. There's certain people that I heard a interview over the weekend on Joe Rogan. It was Bill Murray, and he doesn't do a lot of interviews. Now, Bill Murray is famous for just being weird, but as he's talking, it's like you forget. He sounds like just a normal, strange dude, and he's very gracious. He's like, I don't take any of this fucking seriously. I could be gone tomorrow. And then he talked about Gene, and then went right back to the conversation. And by the end of the interview, he's handing out his branded golf pants and golf shorts to Joe Rogan and his staff. Hey, I'll pick what size you want. No, you can take anything you want. Take it. Just pimping his product, but he's also like gracious dude.
Mhm.
He knows that without them, that he wouldn't be anywhere. But most people in Hollywood are so fucking out of touch with what true reality is, like what the
Oh,
three of
yeah.
us live every day. It makes me not appreciate those kind of people.
Which is why
Like, so
when
there's
it
some actors.
comes,
There's some actors,
Go
if they
ahead.
get hit by a fucking bus, I would be like, "Pfft, whatever.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
Keanu,
you died. Whatever.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is gonna live forever. That dude.
I would be very.
This dude-
I will.
this
I will be
dude, he's
sad.
the most grounded motherfucker on the planet.
Yes.
Like
He's
for
another
what-
one I was going to mention.
He does shit like on his birthday. He went in and he went to like his favorite, some favorite coffee house of his, and he went in and he got stuff and he sat down, and then he like ordered and bought bread and coffee and the whole place. It was his birthday. He just went in, bought the whole place, fucking treated everybody to food. Like he takes public transportation.
Doesn't have a flashy car.
He walks. He walks places. He spends all kinds of money on the people that he works with that he feels are the underappreciated, the, the cooks of that industry, so to speak.
Right.
Like the stunt guys and the guys running cameras and all of the guys that really do all the hard shit that make his shit look good.
Mm-hmm.
Like he buys them
He
presents.
he gave
Oh,
up.
like, he bought like one of his entire stunt team. He went out and bought them like these. He bought all of them. This fucking whatever the motorcycle is. He bought all
He
of them.
paid for out of his own pocket. He paid for it out of his own pocket during the Matrix movies. He paid for the special effects guys.
He
to get more money.
forfeited his salary.
He
actually.
forfeited
He
his
just
salary.
paid for it. He said, "No, I'll take a lower number, pay those guys more money, and divide it up amongst that whole."
Yeah, and I'll take points on the back end.
Yeah, and no, he
Not even.
that.
He just
gave up his
not even
salary.
that.
They were like,
No
"We'll give
shit.
you
He took
five-
SAG
we'll
minimum.
give you
He,
5 million," and he was like, "I'll take 4 if you promise to give the other million to the special effects and the stunt
Yeah.
guys."
One of the
And he
things
was
about
Yeah.
him that I like so much, Keanu Reeves, is that you'll see these like cell phone videos of him riding the subway, and some kid will recognize him, and
talk
he'll just
to him.
invite them over and talk to them, and just like I'm your
That's it.
buddy.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, you do that? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about it." It just
The one little
warmest-
kid, one of those videos was a little kid recognized him somewhere as Ted from Bill and Ted, not the teddy bear, but
no, dude.
yeah,
Ted.
from Bill and Ted, and he walked over to him and said, "Hi, Ted," and he goes, "Hi, how?" Didn't crack, didn't do anything, just, "Hi, how are you?" And the kid was like, "Oh, I'm good," da 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 da. And the mother's filming this whole thing, and
Yeah, and he was just Ted for a moment.
yeah, he did the Ted voice for the kid, but then talked to him, and
But then
I
talked
guess
to him, and then it was yeah, he like totally went into how are you, and then totally went into just being Keanu and talking to him, and
Yeah.
you see shit of that all the time. Like he's just in a cab with somebody.
especially now
He's
in the
just
days.
sharing a cab.
Yeah. In the days of social media now, where you see these things quite often, I used to give Keanu Reeves a lot of shit because I would say, same character every fucking movie, same voice with the exception of Bill and Ted, where he had to turn it on a little bit. But whether it was Point Break or The Matrix, it was always, "There's a bomb on the bus. If the bus goes over 55, we're all going to die. I have to save the world now." And it always seemed dry, but man, when you actually watch the films now, as I have a different view of him, I can go back and watch Speed or The Replacements or what have you, and just see him for who he is, just being Joe every day in a not everyday situation.
Yeah,
good point.
I thought so.
yeah.
That's a very
So
good
did
point.
anybody? Go ahead, please. Sorry.
I mean, to go back to Bill Murray real quick. He'll be somewhere like at a hotel or a restaurant, and he'll just wander over his wedding party. He'll crash the wedding party, and he will stay for the remainder of the party. If he's like, "If you want me to leave, I'll leave." They're like, "No," and he just parties with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I
And
think that's
it's-
the beauty about being Bill Murray, is that everybody who knows who Bill Murray is knows that most of his characters are just Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Right.
Bill Murray just plays himself with a different name in every movie.
Yeah. The
So
biggest
it's
as
he's so well known, like, and so comfortable though, and everybody's comfortable with knowing who he is. He can just stroll into whatever the fuck it is you're doing, and nobody freaks out. They're all just like, "Yeah, hey."
yeah. Whose uncle is
Because
that?
He doesn't.
Whose
he
drunk
doesn't-
uncle's here?
like Keanu, he doesn't take himself too fucking seriously either. And that's
All the new
kind of
Daredevil
what
shows on
it
tonight.
is. You know what I mean? It's neither one of them take themselves too fucking seriously.
Right, and that's where you get the dichotomy between a Bill Murray and a Keanu Reeves, who they're not pretentious twats, and then you get pretentious twats. As much as I love their work, Bob De Niro, pretentious twat. Tom Hanks, pretentious twat. But then you have, from the pretentious twats, you go back to the guys like Gary Sinise, down to earth, just regular Joe who just wants to do good. I've been blessed. Let me help those that need. Taking that band on the road that he has, the Lieutenant Dan band, and going to military bases and cheering people up and just not taking $1 for it, doing it all on his own dime. You know, those are the kind of guys I like. If I don't have to hear Robert De Niro telling me how I should think as an American anymore, it would be too soon. But guys like Keanu won't do that. They're closer to us than we think they are, to normal, everyday, regular people. They didn't forget where they came from.
Right, and because they're very self-aware. And that's the problem with 90% of Hollywood. You know, I'll say 95% of Hollywood, because there are 5% of Hollywood actors that are just decent people, normal people. They have no self-awareness. If it's not within their 6-foot bubble, they don't want to know about it. They don't want to know you. They don't want to know anything about anything but them, what pertains to them. Am I in this headline? Am I in Variety?
Talk to
this
my
week?
assistant.
Am I on the Daily News? Is Perez Hilton still talking about me? Am I on what would Tyler Durden do? You know, all the fucking gossip rag mags that are on the internet and out there in the ether.
Right.
They're all about them.
I mean, I could look at music, and yes, she's the biggest name going right now, Taylor Swift, who she's on the stage and saying, fuck the patriarchy. Bitch, who put your stage together? Who drove the trucks to get your shit there? Who, you know, fuck the patriarchy is such a stupid thing to say, but she's influencing a lot of young people. On the same music side, not that they fill 100,000 seat stadiums, but they can still do 30 to 40,000. I was in the crowd. Disturbed will grab a little kid from the front row. What's your name? Why are you here? Who'd you come with? Tell me a little about yourself. The girl in the video I shared about 6 months ago who said, I beat cancer just to be here. And Dave Draymond is just in tears saying, I'm glad you're here. Your story, you've touched my heart. Come, sit over here for the next couple songs. Be a part of this instead of being up there looking. I want you to sit and look at all these people who love you. It always does the same thing. What's your name? Tanya. Everybody say hi to Tanya. Hi, Tanya. And why are you here today? You know, my best friend was a big Disturbed fan, and, you know, she died. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, she's here now, and I was hoping I could sprinkle some ashes on your stage. Dude, you want to watch 40,000 people lose it. And Dave Draymond's just Dave Draymond's just a good dude. I met him at Mohegan once when Disturbed came through, or was he with Device at that point?
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Nice, sweet, humble. And more people should be like that. And I'm not shitting on Taylor Swift. That woman gives more money to charity than anybody else on earth. And does it willingly.
She is very charitable.
Yeah, so
I
can't shit on her too much.
But I also hear stories about Taylor Swift. Like, I saw a video clip. It was a couple weeks ago. They were leaving a hotel, and she was with Travis, and then she turned around and like ran back in with her purse, and she's like handing bills to everybody that interacted with her for the night. She even went back into the restaurant. I mean, you know, is it just because she's got all the money she's ever going to need? Probably. The kid's fucking rich. I mean, but that person, I hate to see be that same person that stands on stage and say "fuck the patriarchy." Does she really believe that, or is she just saying that because everybody else is right now? Keep her relevant.
I saw somebody recently on a short video clip on YouTube. They'd just recently gotten married. They're on some local news program. Can't remember where it's from. If I find it, I'll share it with you guys. And they're doing this progressive thing where there's like, well, I didn't take his name. We took my mother's name. And the interviewer stopped him cold. You mean your grandfather's name?
Yeah.
Immediately shut him down, like right quick. It's a name. It has nothing to do with, you know, your father, your mother. Everybody gets a name. I mean, shit happens. I'm proud of my name. I know Mike is extremely proud of his name. I know you're extremely proud of your name. You know, the family lineage deserves to continue. Unfortunately, because my brother and I have all girls, our particular section of that name will end with us. But
Same here.
we have cousins that have sons that will carry this name on far and long, and that's a good thing. But yeah, this fuck the patriarchy bullshit, knock it off. And that comes from a lot of these crazy feminazis. I haven't said that in a long time. And I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit of that on the Oscars. I only watched about a third of the show. I hung out with Mark, and after the race, we watched I think the first hour or so. I did with him. He watched the rest by himself. I saw a lot of good things, and I saw a lot of bad things. And the fact that we're still talking about stolen land, the fact that we're still talking about Me Too this and all of this mess, we know. We get it. It's in our face every day. I don't need Zoe Saldana or whoever the fuck.
I can't fucking stand her.
Thank you.
I fucking hate her.
Thank you. I don't need someone who is on a stage in a dress that costs more than my car to tell me that certain things are still out there. Yeah, I know. I live them every day. My daughter lives them every day. My friends here live them every day. I don't need you to remind me. I would be happier if Herm reminded me every day, you know, there's still a racial imbalance in hiring in certain places. Okay, yeah, let's have a conversation about it. I don't need a black woman on a stage in a dress that has diamonds on it telling me about racial injustice. You are standing there as a black woman being celebrated.
She's not black.
Whatever. Person of color. Being celebrated for her hard work. Let's start there. Her hard work. And you're going to sit here and virtue signal to me? I don't think so.
Well, I really, really hope that movie didn't get anything at all. I've watched. All right. So my Oscar recap. I've seen a lot of the movies that were nominated for an award or two. I watched that piece of shit. And
I'm sorry,
when I
refused.
said that,
I refused.
I said that in a conversation on Facebook, and they're like, "Well, that's awful homophobic."
No.
Listen, it's not the subject matter. I'm okay with the subject matter. If you're going to make a movie about that subject matter, make a quality fucking movie that makes some sense. That isn't like one of the most horribly acted movies I've seen in a very long time. She was terrible in this movie. It was like I was watching a telenovela for two and a quarter hours. It was
What
bad.
are we talking about?
Amelia Perez.
The one that's always held on.
If you've not seen it, I tried to watch it, and I was like, nope, can't do it. Like, I'll go to your point, Lynch.
All right,
if this had been a straight cinematic piece, I might have gotten more than 30 minutes into the film. You made this film as a musical.
All right,
this is a heavy-duty subject, and you're making it into a musical.
It's written by a French guy, okay, a French couple, who admittedly did no research into anything Mexican culture.
Ta-da.
The entire movie is riddled with the classic Mexican cliches from the fucking 20s and 30s. It's just horrible. Horrible. And I know it's a musical, so it's going to be unbelievable. All
Like
musicals
what?
are unbelievable. It's just the caricatures, the way the Mexicans were portrayed, with the accents were super exaggerated. You know, like talking like they used to speak in the old.
You mean like they
when
speak
Mexicans
next
were-
door?
Yeah, but that's you. Come on now. You can't speak for a whole country.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they speak next door.
No,
Like
it's
the guy across the, like
if
the
I
guy
can-
across the street speaks.
if I can equate it to anything, it's like the old portrayal Al Jolson in a jazz singer, and then the people who would put on blackface and sing "mama" and do the exaggerated caricature of what black people were.
Can you do that one more time?
Their perception of them, "mama."
Thank you.
It was
Herm, clip
just that.
that.
It was just so fucking over the top and ridiculous, and just the acting was horrible. I was hoping the movie got completely snubbed.
Herm, clip that.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard it.
Clip it.
Where are we? We're at, all right.
Mama.
We're somewhere around.
No, I'm with you on that.
gotta write a
Here's
note on the
here's something
blotter.
that drives me nuts, and maybe it drives you guys nuts too. Not to the extent of other people, but when let's take Jesus Christ for example. Portrayals of Jesus Christ in cinema. Jesus Christ is a Middle Eastern man, so you know he's going to have bronze skin. You don't get the last couple films I've seen about the life of Jesus has the whitest white dude playing Jesus. Stop. Don't do this anymore.
At least Jim Caviezel tried.
Oh, tanned up, looked the part, absolutely, but still the
Yeah.
whitest white dude in history. You've seen
Right.
Frequency. That dude is whiter than white.
I have.
Great
I
fucking
have.
movie, though.
It's a good movie.
Why do people get so bent out of shape when people of other ethnicities, races, whatever, play a role of something? We talked on this when the chick got Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And I said,
Cynthia
well, it's a
Erivo.
musical. It was made not as a mocking thing, but it's made to be counterculture. Sure, why shouldn't she play it if it fits, it fits. But how mad would people be if, let's say, they made a movie about, because he came up in conversation recently, William McKinley, and Denzel Washington was slated to play William McKinley. It's acting. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking acting. But the converse to that would be if Tom Cruise were elected to play Martin Luther King Jr. Can't have it both ways. Acting is acting. Robert Downey Jr. should play every black role ever in the history of ever after Tropic Thunder.
They couldn't make that movie now.
He's just a dude who's playing a dude
Playing a
who's playing
dude.
another dude.
Dude.
If that
They couldn't make that today.
no, because
No
everybody get
fucking
all
way.
their fucking panties would get in a bunch, and you're like, oh my god, look, this is disgusting.
But I have seen Hollywood turn a corner where they're going less woke, they're going less agenda and DEI. You guys aren't going to give a shit about this, but it's been reported that Kathleen Kennedy, who's now running Lucasfilm, is looking for her replacement. And all the
Okay.
fucking Star Wars guys have fucking raging hard-ons of excitement because she pretty much has done a fairly shitty job of steering the Star Wars franchise in any direction. Because when she came on, we're gonna have a Star Wars movie every year for the blah 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 from now and forever.
You're just watering
ruined
down the
it.
product.
It's so fucking diluted now, and they have admitted non-Star Wars fans writing Star Wars lore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's like me, who knows nothing about about Africa, writing a movie about Africa. I don't know the culture. I don't know the languages. I know nothing about it.
You know
Someone's
that it
gonna
was a
make shit
hit
up.
song back in 1983.
Down in Africa.
There you go, my man.
But yeah. I mean, it's just fucking crazy, and I was pissed that Demi Moore did not get the Best Actress award because she
That
was
was
fucking fantastic in that.
First of all, what a great fucking film.
I've seen Honora,
How was
the girl who won. I can't. It was good. I thought it was
Okay.
a very good movie. Best Picture worthy? Nah.
Did it win Best Picture, Honora? I thought
Yeah.
the Brutalist should have won.
I mean, The Brutalist was a very good movie.
Oh, it was fucking
tough
crazy. Yeah,
Tough watch,
very.
long, but Adrian Brody was he was really good in that movie. But the girl who won Best, I can't remember her name now. Mary something, I don't know. Young girl, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She basically kind of played the same role, just with a little more of a New York accent. I mean, she was good. But in just the look on Demi's face, she's like, "Oh, nice." I mean, it would have been nice for her to win.
Which is funny because the
some of the-
film itself is about an older actress who's trying to recapture her younger days, and the irony of it is that she's the older actress who lost out to the younger woman. Oh my God!
The irony was not lost on me. I was like, "Oh boy, this is the movie." And Megan's like, "What?" Because she hasn't seen it.
Okay.
I'm like, "I'll tell you about it some other time."
I watched it out of curiosity before Oscar season because somebody had told me the premise. I'm like, okay, there's no way. This is like a really bad take on Dorian Gray. And I watched it and I was like, this is better than Dorian Gray. This had that movie, The Substance, had so many twists and turns that I didn't see coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've watched it several times since the first time. My first time watching it was 2 months ago. Like I'll just put it on, and that's a really, really good movie. I have not seen the Bob Dylan movie yet.
Want to see that?
That looks fantastic.
I do want to see it. I was really kind of hoping Edward Norton would have won. Even though I haven't seen the movie, I really like Edward Norton's performances. He's really, really good.
Yeah, there's nothing that guy can't do.
He becomes the part that he's playing.
I mean, you can go from Fight Club to Red Dragon to,
American History X.
Thank you. You beat me to it. And you believe that this skinny, dorky guy is that character and is exactly what he's portraying himself to be.
Right.
Because I just recently rewatched Red Dragon because I get on a Hannibal Lecter kick every now and again, and I believed that he was the FBI agent. And then you watch again. You can go back to Fight Club. You believe he was that dirty, gritty son of a bitch. Ed Norton's just that good. Best actor since Gene Simmons.
Ace Frehley.
It takes a man like me to be a woman like me. Yeah!
What is that on your shirt?
Who?
You. What's that on your shirt?
I'm trolling Corey tonight. It says, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Okay. Okay.
And you will believe.
I believe.
Stop it, Herm.
I saw Joe.
Stop it, Herm. I believe in Joe Hendry.
But yeah, the Oscars were kind of uneventful this year. Nobody got bitch slapped.
No, I was kind of upset.
And there wasn't. I liked Conan O'Brien as a host. I have always liked Conan. Just that his awkward delivery is always funny to me.
I liked his exchange with Nick Offerman in the beginning, like in the first hour.
That was good.
And to be honest,
I came in the room. I'm like, is that Ron? Is that Ron Swanson fucking doing the Oscars?
I did. Brittany's in the comment section. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Well, since we have 23 minutes left, you're here for a good time. Shake it up, girl. How you been? What I found out was Nick Offerman has been doing that voice for about 4 or 5 years now, kind of low-key.
I didn't realize it.
Yes.
I didn't realize it.
Because they never showed him until this year. And, it was an older guy before, and then there was a lady for a little while. This is the third time that, whatever the fuck. But yeah, Nick Offerman's been doing it a couple of years now. And the fact that us, seeing as much of his work as we have, never picked up on his voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this is the first time Chris Rock has been slapped on stage.
Yeah.
I don't watch
super
those shows. That's probably why I haven't picked it up.
Okay,
I've picked it up in other shit that he's done.
Yeah,
like
commercials.
Like he did F is for Family, and he did a walk-in.
Yep.
And he does a role in there, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking
him, Morgan Freeman, and I hate to throw his name in here, but I've picked up their voices in commercials. John Cena. You watch some of those Toyota commercials, It's like the new Toyota, and you're like, this sounds a lot like John Cena.
Hey, John.
Yeah, because he's got that he's still got the slight touch of West Newbury, Massachusetts in his voice, where certain phrases that he says.
Well, that's like watching HBO Hard Knocks. and knowing that it's Liev Schreiber.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Yeah.
see Liev Schreiber play roles on screen, and you're like,
Mhm.
it is. That's
Yeah.
the Hard Knocks.
It is him.
That's the dude. That's the dude from NFL Films.
You know what I mean? That's also the dude from the Wolverine movie.
Speaking of NFL films, sorry, Herm, I didn't know.
Oh, you're
Go
good.
ahead.
You're good. You know what I mean?
Oh, speaking of NFL films, if you ever want to see something funny, and again, because we brought up John Cena, go look in your Google machine or your YouTube machine for John Cena's induction of William Refrigerator Perry into the WWE Hall of Fame. And he does the Steve Sable voice so well. That's a talented dude. Love him or hate him, or his hairline.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a talented motherfucker.
Woo.
I like John Cena. He's funny.
Yeah. Wasn't funny on Saturday, but that wasn't his role on Saturday.
Turned heel.
Yeah. Dude, I watched it. I avoided social media Sunday before the race. I decided to watch Elimination Chamber. Sorry, John, but Hollywood and Hackman beat John Cena 6 days a week, twice on Sunday. John was going to be here tonight with us talk Elimination Chamber. So, yeah.
Right.
You want to talk about, just a guy who can fit into anything. Daddy's Home, when he plays Roger. And then you go to Cockblock, and he plays like the father. He's versatile. And to come from that world, you have to be versatile. You're not getting 6 takes. You are in the center of a building where anywhere between 12,000 and 100,000, depending on the size of your building, you get one shot. And they are some of the best actors in the world. Sometimes it doesn't translate. Ask Mr. Nanny.
Well, look at Batista. He's actually a really good serious actor.
Yes.
Knock at the Door, he was phenomenal in the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie there that came out last summer. He was really good in that. He was really good in Dune.
I could get past Drax, but I will point at the Bond movie that he did. And he was
very good in that too.
Terrifying in that film.
Right. I mean, most wrestlers make decent actors.
Most.
Your John Cena's, your Dave Batista,
Then you get
your Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, then you get Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yeah. Who was that?
That was Piper. I think Sheiky Baby should have got more movies.
Roddy Piper. His only good movie. There's
They Live.
Oh, Sheiky, he was such a fucking whack job. He was such a whack job. They couldn't keep him on movie set.
If you thought his Hall of Fame, if Sheiky made movies and won an Oscar, if you thought his Hall of Fame speech was good, could you imagine him in front of the Academy? And this for all my intelligent movie fans, and fuck the Hulk Hogan.
I want to thank all of you jabronis.
Right.
For all my jabronis out there.
It's a shame Sheik died, because I'd like to see him do voiceovers for like documentaries. That'd have been nice. Have him do the voiceovers for like the next serial killer. This piece of shit. Because his daughter, his eldest daughter, was killed by her boyfriend, and she was cute. I think we showed her picture on the show when Sheiky died.
Yeah.
And I could just hear him. This better be on HBO Max, because I'm not stopping from saying the F word.
This motherfucker.
In fucking rural Georgia, this piece of shit jabroni hack job.
I fuck him in the ass and make him humble.
Damn it.
I will humble you.
Worse than Michael Jackson. Worse than this one. Been to Diddy party. I bet Sheik went to a Diddy party.
What just happened?
I don't know. We all disappeared there for a second.
Everything just kicked out.
You know what it was? It goes to the Sheik. He wants us to stop talking about him. So, Sheiky.
Sorry, Sheiky.
Are we still live?
Anyway,
on the gimmicks?
Yeah,
the
we're
Oscars
still going.
weren't
You
due.
just kicked us all off screen, and then I had to bring everybody back in. But
Okay.
Yeah, but the Oscars weren't too messagey, preachy bullshit. The interesting backstory to the foreign film that won. Uh, it's about the Gaza Strip. I guess it was a Palestinian, a joint effort between Palestine and Israel. They became friends through all this from the initial invasion through, and they were documenting that the people of Gaza are getting houses knocked down on order of the Palestinian army to secure weaponry sites. And they're just saying, you're gone, your house is gone, and it's happened a lot. So it tells that story through both those lenses, and like, can we just have peace? Because to make this stop, I want to watch it. But that was a decent message.
I liked the blurb before they got the award, that it was the highest grossing nominated documentary of the year. Nominated. The highest grossing documentary of the year was Am I Racist, which did not get a nod, and I understand why.
Yeah, well, he's never going to get that audience.
No, of course not. However, it made 25 times in its first weekend what their documentary made at all. Not that should be the litmus test. It should be how good the documentary is.
How much it make, how much money the movies make is actually.
That's what I just got through saying that. It's not that's the litmus test, because
it's not even a metric.
Yeah, because Shrek makes millions, and I think those movies are trash. Whereas it's like Herman and I used to say, and I forget which comedian said it. Stevie Ray Vaughan is dead, but we can't get John Bon Jovi on a helicopter.
Yeah, it was Leary.
Right.
Stevie Ray Vaughan sold a fraction of what Bon Jovi did, and I'd rather listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan all day. So the fact that it made more, and I did get through saying that, and it's not the litmus test. I've yet to see this documentary. I would like to, weigh them side by side. I have a feeling that, what is it, No Man's Land it was called?
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be far better as far as content. Although I did think Am I Racist was powerful. But was it more powerful than No Man's Land? I'll find out.
It tells it's a human story, which is what most good documentaries are. They connect you to people. And from the looks of that documentary, it paints a different picture of what's going on over there.
Yeah, the director was on the director of that film and the screenwriter for that documentary were on one of the morning shows on Monday, and I happened to catch a clip of it on YouTube, and you could tell that their passion and their care for that region and the people, because they are from that region, it came through in that interview, and I'm sure it comes through on the screen just as much.
One of the messages that got out there that I appreciated was the director of Anora, and that was a big win for them. Kudos to them for winning. I don't really know whatever other movie that could have been better selection for Best Picture. I mean, The Substance was good, but it wouldn't. That horror movies, The Brutalist was my go-to. But that got a lot of Golden Globe love, and films that get a lot of Golden Globe love don't necessarily get Oscar love.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But one of the messages that came through from the director of Anora is that it's a big deal because that was made for $6 million and it's recouped many, many, many times its budget. It was truly an independent film, and his message was basically streaming is killing this industry.
But is it?
It is, because you get more money, you get more bang for your buck when you get asses in seats outside of your house than you do inside the house. Because movie theaters are typically decent chains like the Hoyts and shit like that.
Artists how much money they make off an album sale. or versus how much money they make off of Spotify.
Oh yeah, the 7 points they used to get on the albums that sold for $9, now they're getting pennies on the dollar. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
like 150. Like Snoop said something like, "I had 153 million streams. The check was $37."
Yeah. You know how much I hate to listen to Gene Simmons wax philosophically about money because it's all he talks about. But even he has come out and he's agreed with a lot of these people. It's like, we used to get our royalties, the first wave of the album comes out, it goes platinum. We're seeing lots of zeros on a check. The last two albums they put out independently. They recouped more. But again, for the, get this, streaming, Sonic Boom in 2009, when streaming really started to hit, was a million seller. It was a platinum record, so to speak, but it only sold physical copies in the tune of 110,000. Think about that. A multi-platinum recording artist sold 110,000. They were happy to get what they got. I mean, do I like streaming? Go ahead, please.
It's convenient. It's the convenience of it, but we're really fucked that up with COVID. Because everybody panicked, because we as a nation panicked, and nobody could go about with their fucking lives, and you weren't getting asses in seats in movie theaters. So a lot of your independent chain movie theaters, like your independent movie theaters, died. Like Niantic Cinema, gone.
That's sad.
A couple other mom and pop cinemas, gone. So unless you're a part of a big chain, and those big chains have sweetheart deals with the film studios. If they sell X amount of tickets, they get gotcha bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to get as many asses in the seats during every fucking showing of a film possible, so they can hit a goal. If they hit that goal, they get a little gimme at the end.
Yeah.
So that money is not funneling back to Hollywood, because the studio takes a chunk of that the movie theater makes. The profit in movie theaters outside of concessions is relatively small.
Mm-hmm.
They make their money in concessions.
Yep.
So if Hollywood's not getting their grab of it, where is the money going to come from to finance the next picture? And it's kind of
to Jen.
What?
When Lynch is done, Jen in the comment section.
Oh, Jen, you're back.
I'd like to respond. When it's my turn, Lynch can finish this.
Okay, and then we'll put the comment on the screen because I want to hear the whole thing. Go ahead, Lynch, finish. And you're muted, dude.
He's muted. I got no sound from you, buddy.
Yeah, you're muted, McDuded.
Can you hear us?
Are you in danger?
I'm not. I got nothing on you.
Yeah. Oh, there goes that.
Oh, wait. He just dropped out. Are you back? No, his signal is dropping in and out.
Okay. All right. Well, then go to your point, Herm. We'll wait for Lynch to come back, audio-wise.
Yeah.
Jen says, I'd rather have an album because streaming only gives the popular songs. I mean, before Herm launches, I just downloaded a couple albums that are new and some that were 40 years old. I downloaded Paul McCartney's Pipes of Peace, and I got every song. I got every fucking song. Lynch, speak.
So, yeah, Jen, you're right to a point when it's like iTunes and shit. They only broadcast the popular songs, or whatever. But, I mean, you pay the little bit extra, you get everything.
I was just going to say that's that is, I'm going to sound like a dick.
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 That's poor people. Yeah, and I'm okay with it. That's poor people's music streaming. Unfortunately, most of the paid services that you and even that you pay for, you can get certain things. Like Spotify free is basically only the popular shit, and Pandora is free, and it sucks. Some of the paid music services are much better. Like iTunes, when you're paying for music, you can buy a whole album. iTunes will let you, or whatever it is, Apple Music now, whatever the fuck it's called now.
I can speak to that.
They will let you buy a whole album, up the whole fucking thing. Sometimes Apple will even have some extras on an album that aren't available.
I can speak to
That
that.
that's the reason I use Tidal. I use Tidal for several reasons. Its music quality is lossless when I download. Um, it's also the only music service that pays the artists correctly and appropriately. That's why it's $30 a month for me to stream music, is because my company pays, and Jay-Z set it up right when he started that shit. And that company makes sure that artists are 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 paid.
I pay $15 a month, and that includes myself and Emma, to have Apple Music, unlimited downloads. There's not a day that goes by where a song will come into my head, and I'm like, I haven't heard that song in a while. Just did it with Paul McCartney. Last week, I was on a Stevie Ray Vaughan kick. The week before that, I was on a Billy Idol kick. So I would download certain albums that I hadn't heard in a while and just revisit it and have a good time. But I'm paying for that luxury. And how Apple pays, I don't know. But I've already given these artists this money when I bought the album originally.
Same like Tidal. They are in with the record companies. They pay well. So when you get an album that whatever, it doesn't matter. It drops today. Today it drops. It's technically not even really technically probably not even at the store yet.
And if it is, it came in the day before, and you have to wait until it opens at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry, in the morning.
That thing drops at midnight, technically. I go on Tidal at 12:01, and it will tell me exclusives just released, and I will literally have an album the moment it hits the market, complete, full, available to download it if I want it download. So I don't even need internet connection. I will literally download the full album like a good old school MP3.
I've done that with a couple Hailstorm albums. I did that with Lizzie Borden's album. We interviewed on my old show Lizzie Borden, myself and Eddie. We interviewed Lizzie Borden 3 days before his album dropped, and that was cool as fuck. And we actually Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify had the 3-song teaser pack. Lizzie was kind enough to send the entire album to our emails so we could listen and talk to him about the record. But it was kind of cool though to be able to wake up in the morning and have it right here in the palm of your hand, because you set it up that way and say, okay, midnight, you download. I don't know who's got a new record coming out. Fuck if I know.
Jen, to answer your question, like for me with Tidal, I can go in, find a specific album. All right. So I can go in and find anything. Like right now we're looking at hip hop music. I can literally just download an entire album. And for me, I can put it anywhere. I can download the whole album to my phone, and then it's in a file saved, and Tidal accesses it when I don't have and just plays it. I can download it to my laptop. I can download the whole thing to my tablet, wherever I have room from. Same thing. And with Tidal, I can stream the whole album. Like I can literally go to Kendrick's new GNX album and call it up and literally stream it completely, because the service I use, the Tidal one, is it's DJ intertwined. So my DJ hardware and program uses this, so I can be anywhere and have any music with me on my turntables without actually having a physical digital library. So so you can, it's a little more expensive, but it treats your artists better. It's very good to the artists. It's lossless quality. When you download and when you listen and listen to it, it's some of the best shit. But yeah, it's good shit. It's awesome.
Good
yeah,
deal.
baby.
So,
Idle all the way.
what do you want to do next week? We've been having fun. We had fun. I think I had fun today, even though the subject matter got a little dark when we spoke of the recent passing of Gene Hackman and Michelle Trachtenberg. But I had fun.
Yeah, whatever.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Rub myself? I don't know. What do we think?
You do that anyway.
That's true.
By the way, please send your
Thursday.
prayers out to Matt Marsh. Yeah, he's. I'm not going to say it out loud, but dude's going through some
Something's
stuff
getting
today.
tighter.
Dude's going through some stuff today.
My man is going through it. Okay,
He's going through it today.
my man is going through it today. All right, that's all we're gonna say.
And when
We
he
will hopefully
returns
be
next
back
week,
with a newer, firmer self. And,
I have a feeling that the subject matter will be tighter, a little more
responsive,
compact. Yes.
It'll be a tight show.
Very tight show.
He's not getting vaginal rejuvenation, just so you guys know. But he is going to make chocolate molds for everybody. And
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh. I like chocolate.
Of course you do. That's why that thread was so awesome, because he singled you out immediately.
Hey, I'm man enough to admit it.
Anybody in the comment section, if you're watching this now or you're watching this later, if you have any ideas for Tuesday, send them in. We're open to anything. I will be bringing John Beck back, but I don't think it's going to be until April when the big show happens. John is one of my old co-writers at WrestlingOnline.com, and Mania is in April, so we can talk Mania. That's something that,
There we go.
yeah, and it's a nice homework assignment. It happens on Saturday and Sunday. We record on Tuesday. You got all the time in the world to get your shit in, as they say. And don't forget, if you guys are free in a half hour, Speedway review coming up. We're talking about COTA, Circuit of the Americas in Texas, and one kind of boring race, and the other one was really fucking good. It's up to you to figure out which one I think was boring and which one I thought was really fucking good.
Was it the one that goes in a circle?
No, they were on a road course this weekend, asshole.
Where was it?
Turn right. They turned
Texas.
Right this week too.
Oh, it was? Oh,
Yeah.
I would have actually fucking watched that.
See, he's one of those guys. All they do is go in a circle. Well, now they have 5 road courses. Well, there ain't enough speed. Well, then watch the fucking oval. I'm just kidding. You're not.
See, I
that
like
guy.
the road. I like the road courses.
I love road courses. Oh, it's so good. But we'll talk about that in a half hour. To all of you, from all of us, thank you so much for joining us wherever you are and whenever you join. We appreciate you. And shut the fuck up.
Hey, now.
I was just only saying that to Herm. I haven't said shut up, Herm, in a while.
Well, you have the opportunity in half an hour.
Well, he's made some good points in the last few weeks.
All right. It's a gimme.
All right. Watch the show, Lynch. I know. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, as soon as I choke down dinner.
All right. Well, it's
Smell
not the
it.
only
I
thing.
smell it.
I'm not even going to go there. Good night, everybody.
Good.
Smell Marsh.
night.
I smell marsh.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moment of a dying world, what have you
I got nothing for you this week. Sorry.
Nothing. All right. We'll see everybody next week. Have
Your
a good
sphincter is tighter.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.